Honorable Nomvalo.
Chair, I think the legal services maybe needs to assist us in this regard, because if my memory serves me well, the agreement or the position that we took as this committee is that in relation to the matter of Honorable Kolapanat, when the committee deals with a matter involving her, he will be excused. He will be excused. Only at that time, we said we are not going to apply a blanket approach of saying he is excused on the basis that he was mentioned by General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. We said only at that time when we deal with a matter involving her. So I don't remember us taking a position, Chair, that you have alluded to, but the legal services is here. They must not be, because now they are quiet as if they are not the ones who gave us that advice. They must speak, and they'll speak.
There is, Andile, are you laughing at the intention to overthrow the chairperson? Manifest intention. Honorable Skosana.
For me, Chair, I'm going to make another proposal again. That tomorrow, as you know, we're supposed to have Mkhwanazi. Unfortunately, for whatever reasons, which he said to us, which doesn't make sense, but it's a debate for another day. If other members are not here, Chair, like Honorable Malema is not here, and other members tomorrow are not here, we are going to continue with the work which we're supposed to do here. And those who are not in here, it's unfortunate that they are not in. But to allow other members, because tomorrow are not here, we are setting a bad precedent. Because tomorrow I'm going to say the same, that because I'm not coming, can I ask a question to today? For me, let's maintain, Chair, that if a member is not here, it's unfortunate. They will forfeit their chance of asking we witnesses or our guest here. That would be my proposal. But to say that people, because tomorrow they are not here, they must ask, I don't think it's fair, Chair. Thank you.
Honorable Souls.
No, on that one, I disagree, Chair. I think I feel that the members that wants to ask today, because of those reasons, although I disagree with us not being available on a weekday, or not us, the members, my colleagues, because we've committed to be available. This is priority. But notwithstanding that, I think it would be unfair not to allow them to ask questions today.
Well, look, we must be informed by theories of reasonableness. And I said it here when we started on Tuesday that from the report that I got from the Secretariat was that there were going to be many apologies on Thursday. And they were informed by you as members that the Portfolio Committee of, what did you say, did you say Justice, was having an oversight and 4 members of this committee may not be available. So once that information comes to the fore, members make their own arrangements. For instance, if we check all of you now, you may find that you have already booked yourself out of Cape Town tomorrow evening or on Friday morning, or you are planning to do that. If tomorrow, this time, I say to you, I want to hear on Friday, you say, no, but it's not possible, Chair, because the understanding was that we are concluding on Thursday, isn't it? So let's be reasonable. I think the point that I think Honorable Nomvalo may be correct, which Andile may have to remind us. what was our decision on that one? Because I remember we said members can recuse themselves from the committee, but Honorable Nomvalo is making an addition to say further than that, Chair, this is what we said. Is that the correct reflection, Honorable? Mr.
I'm not honorable, Chair.
Eh? No, I call you honorable because I see a conspiracy between you and Nomvalo to overthrow me.
Honorable Chairperson and honorable members, Honorable Nomvalo is correct, Chair. If you can go to our opinion, we even isolate the point in which Honorable Kola Banat should not be partaking in these proceedings. It's 4.1.14.
Okay.
So I think the principle is that you are correct, Chairperson, in terms of the recusal principle and the rules. But the issue is that if you are directly, implicated, you can't also be participating in that particular aspect.
To what extent is Honorable Cameron is he directly implicated by the statement of the witness? Because that is what we must do, so that we also do not unfairly disadvantage him.
Look, Chair, I think for good order, but of course, I think Honorable Cameron can also be given an opportunity to state, his views. But as I said, Chair, if the honorable member, certain allegations have been raised against him.
Yeah, that is the part. That is the part that has not been said. Maybe what we should do is to allow the witness to hear if he indeed implicates him directly, because that that is also qualified. It says directly implicated. Can we hear from you? Is the evidence implicating Honorable Cameron?
To an extent of his conduct as a member, as a chairperson of the committee on policing, it does. I'm just making a remark about him and what he did to me that offended me, and I did send him an email after that particular incident. But I'll talk to it when the time comes, Chairperson, if you want.
No. We want to understand, because we must determine if we must allow him to ask you questions or not.
Okay.
So if you can give us the details of your interface, and how do you have him directly implicated in a...
So when I was dismissed, I think it was in the papers that I was dismissed, and I think it was framed as SAPS crime intelligence whistleblower dismissed, something like that, and he responded in his is it Facebook, and he made comments to the effect that, look, it's more like good riddance. He's not a whistleblower, and given my knowledge of how he is involved with some people in that environment, how some people are feeding him information in that environment, I took offense about that, because he is a member of the portfolio committee who should be impartial, and when he's in the I mean, when he's a chairperson of the portfolio committee, it's not just representing a political party. Just like yourself, chairperson, you are impartial, you know, and you are seen to be impartial. So when you get involved in issues that you do not know about, especially matters in crime intelligence, because there are some people who, for instance, I'll give you another example that is here. A whistleblower, Miss Patricia Marshall, I think she published some it was an information note to the National Commissioner, and there were 3 members. I only remember the name of Honorable James and Mr. Cameron, and those 3 members. There was an issue of them.
Honorable Cameron.
Oh yes, Honorable Cameron. My apologies.
Because you must also be seen to be impartial.
I agree, Chairperson. Thanks. So, Honorable James, the SAPS crime intelligence indicated that, you know, they were to have this security threat assessment done on them. So they recommended that, look, the other 2 can have assessment, and they made some recommendation, which I think it's here on this particular. So, and my belief is that it is because the reason they did that, because crime intelligence is not supposed to conduct security assessment on a threat assessment on members of parliament, you know. The reason they did that, it was because in attacking members outside of that particular faction, for instance.
Honorable Cameron.
Honorable Cameron, yes. And I'll talk to that when we deal with the issue, when I'm dealing with the issue. So, and I do not have any social media, Chairperson. So somebody brought it to my attention that this is what Honorable Cameron is saying about you. And I do not know Honorable Cameron, you know. I only know him from certain matters. When he was young, I would like to believe, you know. So that is the situation. So I even sent him an email.
So where you stand, you justifiably feel that he is preconceived about you.
I do, Chairperson, but I do not have an issue with him cross-examining me or whatever the case might be, you know. I don't have an issue with that. So yeah. I'll just let you as the chairperson.
But it's not about you. It's about the South African public. A person of interest or any institution can question the fairness of our process.
I hear you, Honorable Chairperson. I'll just leave it to you and the honorable members. But for me personally, I have nothing to hide or anything like that. You know, I'm free. I'm willing to answer any question that will be posed to me in any manner. So I'll leave it to you, sir.
Okay. But I think let's give Honorable Cameron. Let's hear him out, and then I will announce how we move forward.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I think just a few points to start with. Firstly, regarding the potential conflict of interest, there are other members on this committee that, for example, laid criminal charges against people that we've questioned, but still continued with questioning. When you ask the witness just now, Mr. Hlongwane, whether he had any evidence. From what I see, there's no evidence here. In fact, Chair, if you read some of the bits of the statement and you read quite, just general bits of his entire affidavit, one of the first things he says is that Ian Cameron, who has a history of bigotry and racism to attack me and other senior police officers in exchange for gratification in the form of bodyguards and possibly other stuff. Now, Honorable James and I had this discussion earlier when she asked me how could I be sitting on the sidewalk at a coffee shop this morning with everyone driving past. Isn't there a security risk? And there are many more examples, Chair, where the Mr. Hlongwane, as well as the said person that he mentioned earlier on social media, amongst other places, indicated that I had illegal blue light protection. And I jokingly said that they must be so undercover, I haven't even met them yet. So, Chair, there were allegations made that, in my opinion, are wild allegations. And I would also like to say that if I look at the statement, it's important that the witness knows that he could be charged for perjury, for lying under oath. Because if we look at the statement, specifically point 544 on page 155, there are specific factual errors there, amongst others that I was a student when he got to know me at the University of Pretoria. Now, he just told us that he doesn't know me. There he tells us that he does know me. I've never met him in my life. Yes, I did welcome his dismissal from the South African Police Service. There's no reason why I cannot welcome that if I've got a certain belief. He may not agree with that. I didn't continue to say a word about him. And I've been receiving, and I can send them to the committee, but I've never responded to him. There are probably 4 or 5 emails where I keep getting called names by Mr. Hlongwane from a UK Yahoo address, where he tells me how incompetent I am at my job. Now, we might differ on opinions, but I don't think there's any reason for me not to question, especially with regards to all the factual blunders in his affidavit that I can disprove within seconds. So I don't think there's any conflict, Chair. There are many questions that I want to ask that are completely unrelated to the baseless allegations that he makes against me. And generally speaking, in the police, people know me of all creeds and cultures, and I've never been accused of any of the things that he says here. And I believe the majority of the people in the committee also know that. So, Chair, I'll leave it to you. If there's an issue with me questioning, I'd gladly share my questions with the Honourable Kola Barnard or with the Honourable Klopper. I must just lastly say, Chair, that the utterance made about bigotry and racism I do take exception to, and I want to again remind the witness that lying under oath is a criminal offence. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. He had said that he doesn't have any issue with you questioning him. And I hear you saying that you don't have any problem sharing your questions with the Honourable Kola Barnard. Is that correct?
That's correct, Chair.
Yeah. Can I persuade you to share those questions with Honourable Kola Barnard?
Gladly, Chair. If she's comfortable with that, then I will gladly share them with her.
And I want to thank you so much for your understanding. This is how we should conduct ourselves in circumstances where eyebrows may be raised. Honourable Souls, I see your hand is up.
Apologies, Chair. Sorry, Chair. I just want to close with a sentence. Something that I noted that I didn't mention in my response is the mentioning of a threat and risk assessment that was done on myself and my family.
Yeah.
And I want to put it on record here tonight as I've
Yeah.
and I want to put it on record here tonight, as I've done previously, is that I don't know if Mr. Hlongwane was responsible for it, but the information note on that threat and risk assessment of myself and my family was placed on social media in December of 2024. Now, all of the members sitting here, I've spoken to the Honourable Skosana about it. Several members in this committee know about it. It not only places me at risk, but it places my family at risk.
Yeah.
And Mr. Hlongwane must understand me when I'm warning him tonight that if he ever mentions my family again, he will have a significantly tough time in his future. Thank you, Chair.
Chairperson.
You are not threatening him, Honorable Cameron. Honorable Cameron.
Yes, Chair.
You are not threatening him. You just say.
Not at all, Chair. I'm just saying that
In the event things like this happen, you will look for any recourse available within South African law.
120%, and there is quite a bit of recourse. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah.
Chair, may I please respond
Yeah.
briefly? You know, I haven't distributed, as I say, I'm not on social media. The honorable member made statements about me, you know, the fact that I'm not the whistleblower and all that. He does not know that I'm not the whistleblower. He is not the authority on whistleblowing. Whistleblowing is legislated in terms of the protected disclosure. And I have not been making wild allegations against him. I am against him here. And I'm saying, Chairperson, I stand by the allegations I'm making here in the affidavit that I make. And I don't know where he was reading, but
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah.
You stand by your statement.
I stand by it,
The
Chairperson.
members will engage with you.
Yeah.
They will probe you and check if the validity of your statement. I don't think it's a problem. Look, what gives me comfort is that he has agreed that he will not ask your questions, and I don't think it's a problem. Honorable Sauls.
Chair, this is extremely shocking to me. Honorable Cameron and others are treated with kid gloves here. This is procedurally wrong. I want to state for the record again, what we just saw here. Honorable Cameron is the judge here. He is stating, he's making an allegation and saying he wants to advise the witness. He must not lie under oath. He's saying the witness is lying under oath. The witness took an oath here. The Honorable Cameron, procedurally, we should hear the witness. That's allegations. This is allegations. If Honorable Cameron wants to say it's a lie, he should take the stand there and show us the lies. I said from the beginning, the terms of reference of our committee says that if there's an allegation, we should test the veracity of it. We said if General Mkhwanazi named someone in the committee, they must go and clear it up by sitting there and clearing up the allegation. Similarly now, we have a witness before us that says, that makes strong allegations here. Chair, you allow Honorable Cameron to respond to that by saying the witness is lying.
No.
He should have had an opportunity to do that on the stand as well. I maintain It's on the committee and yourself, Chair, but I just want to reiterate what we said right from the beginning.
Yeah.
These members,
No.
the members that, please allow me to finish, Chair.
Yeah,
Members
I agree with what you are saying, but there is a way to conclude what you are saying.
But allow me to conclude, and then you guide me, Chair. You are not allowing me.
Yeah, listen to what I'm saying, and then you will tell me if you disagree with me. The witness must be questioned by the committee first, like we did previously. And when the committee is satisfied that there is something of a probative value, then the committee will go back to its meeting the same way we decided on Honorable Kola Barnard and Honorable Adams, that they should take the stand. For now, without questioning the witness, we cannot decide. We will decide later, Honorable Souls, you are right. But let's question the witness first and satisfy ourselves that there is something of probative. You agree with me?
I disagree, Chair. The terms of reference says if there's an allegation, you are saying we must first test the allegation before we take the decision to say that someone must come and answer. We didn't treat the other members that has to come, that are honorable members, to sit on that side. So I'm asking once again, what is so special about the Honorable Cameron and others? They must be treated the same way. I'll read this here. Paragraph 50-50. The witness says, in his role, Cameron has struck an alliance with the Masemula, Kumalo, and Mkhwanazi, and Jacob's faction. That's a very strong allegation. Who must respond to that? We must give Honorable Cameron an opportunity to clear it up, but on that side, not here, not on this side. That's procedurally wrong. In the first instance, when General Mkhwanazi mentioned Honorable Cameron, we should have done that. I was outvoted, it's fine. But now you see the conflict of interest. From this side, committee member is saying to the witness, you are lying under oath. Where's the evidence? Make such a thing. Then he goes further, and in the presence of the chair and us, he threatens the witness. And chair must come in and then provide context of the threat made. Because the way it came across didn't come across as the way chair afterwards had to provide context. But we're treating it with kid gloves. It's irresponsible to do that as an honorable member. And we are allowing it. That's procedurally wrong. For the record, we still maintain Honorable Cameron and others with whom there is allegations against must also take the witness stand to provide them an opportunity of a right of reply. They must totally recuse themselves and be witnesses there. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, no, I hear that, Honorable Souls. And that is exactly what I'm saying to say, let's deal with the questions on a step. Agreed? Honorable Matthews?
I mean, I was voted out the last time, so I'm not even attempting to say agreed. I'm just saying, as long as I've stated it for the record, I disagree with the process, but I know I'll be voted out. I will be outnumbered by the vote.
No, don't write yourself off. Honorable Matthews.
Chair, we are in this position because, number one, before the witness started, our legal team should have known that there was that the witness, and it should have been brought to our attention in the beginning, number one. So that's also something that was wrong from our side. Number two, Chair, we've never ever, and it's not done, where where one person says something, it's like having General Bekele here and Sabia here, and then they start responding to each other. It's not done. What you just allowed Honorable Cameron to do should have never been done. It's wrong, Chair. It's procedurally wrong to do that. And then he even goes ahead and threatens the witness. He did, in just some nice English words. It shouldn't have been done. He must go and he must come and give his testimony. There's no problem. So we shouldn't have allowed that. It's even intimidating the witness as well. But we wouldn't have been here if those statements were read beforehand, and we would have known, and Honorable Cameron could have been recused from this proceedings. Or he could have sat here but not engaged the witness, as we did with Honorable Collard Barnard. And that has been what we've been doing. It's very, very unnecessary. But having said that, I agree that we proceed with the questioning of the witness, and maybe in our next admin meeting, we will decide if what should happen and whether Honorable Cameron wants to be a witness here. Thank you.
Look, honorable members, you need...
Just a correction. Also, the point that Honorable Cameron made, that some of us opened cases, our case was opened based on this committee, not because of anything outside of that, because Parliament failed to go and deal with the matter of a witness that was lying under oath. So it's not two of the same things. Thank you.
No, what I'm saying is that it is always going to be very difficult to take certain decisions, and we must not be seen to be arbitrary, especially that certain experiences are unprecedented. And that is why law and policy will from time to time be subjected to review. Law or policy is made when it is being implemented. And again, law and or policy is implemented when it is being made. So that is the kind of the understanding that that we should have. But we must not be arbitrary. We are a democratic state. We need to get the totality of facts before we arrive at any decision. Yeah. Honorable Collard Barnard.
Thank you, Chairperson. I will indeed present Honourable Cameron's questions. Mr. Hlangwani, you have repeatedly stated that your transfer was disciplinary in nature. Is it not correct that your transfer was in fact imposed as a result of a court-ordered bail condition specifically prohibiting you from having contact with 6 witnesses who were stationed in your office?
Chairperson, before I answer, can I please say something? Just a minute. Honorable Cameron, well, I'm not intimidated. Second thing is that, you know, I've never mentioned this family. And if he doesn't mention my name, I won't mention his name. So, and I don't feel threatened, by the way. So, my apologies, Chairperson. I'll just continue.
Honorable Skosana.
No, Chair, I just wanted clarity. How many minutes are you giving us? Not necessarily that I'm take the time.
Yeah, that one I said I will announce tomorrow.
No, but now remember it's honorable.
Yeah.
So today there's no time.
There is time.
How many minutes?
20 minutes.
Okay. Thank you, Chair.
Chairperson, when I was arrested, in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. June 2018. I received a letter of temporary transfer on the basis of the arrest, notice of temporary transfer. I responded to that letter and I was not transferred. I went through a disciplinary hearing with the members that were, witnessed out. I was suspended about 3 times, if I'm not mistaken, twice in a row, and because of failure to dismiss me, I then was transferred, temporarily transferred. It had nothing to do with the case. And I do have proof that I can supply to the honorable members.
In the absence of the chair, I'll just continue, shall I? You have alleged misconduct against General Jacobs. Can you confirm that no criminal case against General Jacobs was ever taken to court and that any departmental matters were withdrawn?
The departmental matters, you must ask why were the departmental matters?
So I said, were they or were they not withdrawn? That was the question.
Okay. I wanted to give an explanation. I thought maybe you're gonna need an explanation. The department disciplinary matters were withdrawn as a result of General Stoll having been dismissed from the police, not because there was nothing against General Jacobs. There are, in fact, reports that have not been tested in a disciplinary proceedings. Furthermore, the issues of criminal cases. The criminal cases are under investigation as we speak. So the NPA will have to make a decision.
You continue to refer to a sexual offence allegation dating back to 2010. Is it not correct that this case was withdrawn, yet despite this you continued until as recently as last year to accuse General Jacobs of sexual harassment?
It's not sexual harassment. It's alleged rape. The case was investigated improperly so, and the NPA did withdraw the case. The victim has been trying to seek justice as far as I know, and withdrawal of the case means nothing, if I may say. And I want to give an example. There was a General Mkhwanazi before him. General Mkhwanazi's case was also withdrawn, but then it was also reinvestigated. And after that investigation, the NPA proceeded and he was convicted. Yeah.
Are you aware that there are WhatsApp messages in which you repeatedly referred to General Jacobs as your rapist and used other vulgar and defamatory language? And do you deny sending those messages?
General Jacobs, he did not tell you why we had exchange of SMSs and whatever, but I want to say to you that the gentleman was intimidating me to a point of even threatening my life. because I stopped corrupt activities relating to him. Subsequent to that, he also brought, will send people to my house, people with a background of the security branch, to intimidate me. So what was I supposed to do when I reported him to almost everybody, including the presidency, and nobody did anything about that? So what do I need to do? Do I need to then sit back and be harassed, or maybe the committee can assist? But I don't regret it. And if he feels that the matters are defamatory, I mean, he's free to go to the courts. And I need to add that he opened 2 disciplinary cases. He made complaints about the very same thing that you're talking about. The first one, I was acquitted at investigation level after giving my side of the story. The second one was adjudicated, and then it went to the CCMA to be heard by somebody independent. I wrote for a number of times, and I do have evidence, to both the police management as well as General Khumalo to set the matter down. It never happened. General Jacobs did not want to have these matters adjudicated by somebody independent. So I do not know what else to do. And I still welcome, I still say to him, if he's listening, that go to any court of law and institute civil proceedings. And then we're going to deal with the matter. And the judge will have to make a judgment in that regard. But I cannot be threatened. And then when I report the threats to my life and nobody do anything about it, and then I must just keep quiet, I will not do that. And I won't accept any disrespect.
So you referred to others' misconduct, yet were you not aware that Chile was convicted of shoplifting and that General Khumalo was later falsely implicated in the same incident, despite evidence that he was not involved?
What shoplifting?
Exactly. It didn't exist.
No, I'm asking you. I don't know what the question is. Who is convicted of shoplifting? I've never shoplifted. I don't have a criminal case against me.
I don't think there was any, I never said you had been charged for shoplifting or any such thing.
But who was shoplifting?
Brigadier Chile.
Brigadier Chile. He's not been convicted of shoplifting, if I may say.
Actually, he was.
Where? Which court? Which court?
Chair, this is very difficult because now I have to, the Honorable Kola Barnard is asking some of my questions. So maybe go on to the next and I'll explain it later so that you can finish.
Chairperson, there's no shoplifting conviction against Brigadier Chile. What happened, if I may say, is that Brigadier Chile made various protected disclosures, and there was a retaliation against him. He went to one of these big chains, what is it? Grocery stores, if for lack of a better word. And he paid 800 in cash and some difference for an air fryer. So the lady decided to keep the cashier decided to keep the 800 for herself, and then he paid the air fryer with other items. The difference for the for the air fryer. So now when he left the store, he was stopped by security at the store, and the security said, "No, but you didn't pay for this particular item," and they detained him. This matter at the moment is currently with the National Director of Prosecution. They are making a decision on whether to prosecute or not. So I don't know where this thing comes from. Yes, he was fired in an expeditious, the Regulation 9 that you were talking about, you know. So, but that was it. There's no conviction. And I don't believe at all that there will be a conviction, Chairperson. And for your information, Chairperson, the man had just gotten his bonus that particular day. And this is, I mean, over 100,000. So why would you have over 100,000 with you and then decide to steal an air fryer? It doesn't make sense to me.
Thank you. I think between them, they will have to sort it out. On several occasions, courts requested that you confirm whether you'd made a protected disclosure in accordance with SAPS national instructions. Can you confirm that you did not submit such a disclosure and that you're now using this as an excuse for your current position?
Chairperson, I even have a triple SBC ruling that this person made protected disclosures in terms of the Act. The Protected Disclosure Act has several avenues where you can make protected disclosures. You don't have to make a protected disclosure to the SAPS in terms of the national instruction of the SAPS. And for your information, and this is fortunately there are competent lawyers here. For your information, legislature is not subordinate to national instruction. And national instruction is a policy of the police, and it's adjudicated or it's written in terms of one of the sections of the Protected Disclosure Act. You don't make a protected disclosure only to the employer. You have various avenues, including Parliament, in terms of Section 9 of the Protected Disclosure Act. You can even make a protected disclosure to a member of the executive. You can make a protected disclosure to a legal advisor. And just to close the matter, in terms of Section 210 of the Constitution, we have, as crime intelligence, we have, what do you call this? As crime intelligence, we have an oversight. And that oversight is the Inspector General of Intelligence. And the oversight, in terms of the Intelligence Oversight Services Oversight Act, is the institution that we go to make protected disclosures, because the matters that are dealt with are matters that are sensitive, are matters that are classified. It's there. We have to go there. Nowhere else. Nowhere, not to the employer in terms of the national instruction, but to the oversight. And I encourage people to read the Intelligence Services Oversight Act, and they will see there.
Let's then speak about the courts. You've approached the court 6 times. You've lost every case with costs. And given this record, on what basis do you now come before the portfolio committee, this committee, or any committee, claiming innocence and systemic victimization?
Chairperson, I don't know if people were listening. I did not come and claim any innocence or claim victimization. As I said, when the advocate was leading me, that as a South African, I'm here to submit my experience and the road within the environment where I come from. And the issue of losing 6 cases with costs, it's not entirely true. Here's the thing, Chairperson. When you take matters on an urgent basis, you are asked, they deal with the agency, not the merits of the case. And I did not succeed on agency. So what must I do? Must I not go to the courts? I will go if I feel that my rights have been infringed. So that is the issue, Chairperson.
The allegations, much of the information that you present to the committee was not generated through your official duties, but rather from third parties, information from other parties.
I don't know what that means, Chairperson. I worked in the environment. I have knowledge of what is going on. So I do not know whether in this committee one must, when one members report issues to you, you have to close your ears because you do not have direct knowledge. The matters were verified by me, and they are true to the best of my knowledge. And another thing, Chairperson, General Mkhwanazi was here, He also gave a lot of information about things that he had from third parties. And this question was not even posed, but I saw, people being friendly with one another when they were asking each other questions. So I don't know why it's a problem that when I come here, and I don't know which most of the information that is being referred to, because most of this information, is to the best of my knowledge, true and factual. So I don't even think that the question, is relevant for the purpose.
All right, let's move on. You allege that General Jacobs exposed an undercover agent. Is it not true that you yourself sent a WhatsApp message to Tio warning him about agents, rather contradicting your claim?
I'm not saying Jacobs. Okay, here, let me take it a bit, Chairperson. There was an investigation against Jacobs by a team in Cape Town. He made complaints.
Look at the honorable member so that
he made complaints.
You have eye contact with her.
Okay. He made complaints about this particular case. About this particular investigation against him. On 28 November 2018, I had a conversation with Jacobs, and I did not initiate it. We were here by Holiday Inn Hotel here in Cape Town, CBD. And he told me that he is there are people that are investigating him. And these people are bringing up old cases against him. And then he told me that, well, he's busy with them. And I'm not going to use the word he used, but he said he was going to F them all. So I didn't care about that. What happened is that I found serious abuse of funds, serious corruption and fraud relating to these agents. And because they were working for Jacobs. And then I reported the matter to my supervisor, General Nhlanhla, to say there's fraud here. And there was no disagreement about the fraud being committed by Jacobs. I then, after that, I spoke to Jacobs as the head of crime intelligence to say, no, but this needs to stop, okay? And then after that, it didn't stop. There were problems. And I do have documents here, Chairperson. The documents that I have are not classified regarding this matter. I reported the matter to the Inspector General of Intelligence after that, when these things did not stop, because I did not want to sign for those things. The Inspector General of Intelligence, because they are looking after 3 intelligence structures, they were taking time to investigate this matter. In fact, it was the last of the queue. And then, as head of counterintelligence in the Western Cape, as the person who has the counterintelligence function in the Western Cape, I reported to General Dio. General Dio, in fact, if I may say, he had a security clearance. And another thing is that in terms of the paragraph 3.4 of the what is this? 3.4 of the MIS document, it says you cannot use classification to hide corruption, maladministration, and criminality. And this is the criminality. And I must say further, Chairperson, that I just lost my thought process for a minute, but let me complete this part. I must say that crime intelligence has a code of conduct that says if you encounter fraud, corruption, and malfeasance and whatnot, you must report to the relevant authority. And this relevant authority includes your supervisors, like the Theos of this world. And I knew that when I spoke to General Theo, he will do what? He will, confront Jacobs about this. And lastly, Chairperson, the Inspector General of Intelligence later investigated these agents. There was nothing, absolutely zero on their file. And they also discovered fraud, corruption that I also discovered. And just to close it, Chairperson, General Jacobs, I wrote a lot of letters to say, because this matter is a very serious matter. I said, look, let us resume this disciplinary so that we can deal with these matters. You know what he did? He ran away. He ran away. That is not saying that to you. And I must say, lastly, the agent himself also ran away from this matter because the proof of fraud and corruption is there. I could not open a criminal case because it's an agent that we were dealing with. So General Jacobs, what he leaked was a budget of the Secret Services account, which is secret. You will know because you are in the JSCI. It's a Secret Services account budget. He leaked it to Miss Mariam Tam in the media. You see? That is serious. It's very serious. So I had to lay.
Could I just interrupt 1 second? Would you just confirm for me, this General Tio, is he the gentleman who was arrested for kidnapping and assault GBH? Same one?
General Tio, let me describe him a bit before we.
I just need yes or no. We don't have time for descriptions there.
Okay, so here's the thing, ma'am. What you might not know is that the same NPA that charged him has been begging him to say.
Really, I need yes or no. We have to move on, please.
Okay. Well, I don't know what his charges are, but I know he was
Kidnapping and assault GBH.
You know, I do not know, so I would not say. But because you did not want me to elaborate,
we don't have time.
Okay, ma'am.
I fear.
Okay.
Are you aware that discussions were held with the DPP to reinstate your matter, and that the allegations you're now making are potentially serious and false?
Which matter are we talking about, ma'am?
All right, we'll come back to that. Apologies. So you were informed that you cannot be removed from the case because Secret Service funds were deposited into your account. Do you deny those funds were deposited?
You know, I've never taken money from the Secret Service account. I am the one who's been opening cases left, right, and center. And I am the one who has been, an obstacle to corruption. So I cannot take money for myself, and then now, I then also open cases against others. I've never taken money from the Secret Service account. I never received such amount that you are talking about.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. With regard to Section 34, is it not correct that the court gave you an opportunity last year to file your appeal by December 25, and to date you have failed to do so? Surely if you were that confident in your innocence, you would have pursued it timeously.
Yeah. The matter is at the court at the moment. And if I may say, Section 34. Section 34 is very clear that Section 34, subsection 2, I think, it says the Board of Inquiry, the National Commissioner may, and I'm not quoting verbatim, the National Commissioner may, appoint a certain category of members to obtain and lead evidence into a fitness of a member. And then furthermore,
I just wanted to know if you put in an appeal or not.
No,
Whether you did not.
No, I'm still coming, ma'am. I'm still coming. Unless if you just well, that is my business. But for your information, I did put the appeal that you're talking about, and I do not know where this information that I did put.
Okay, your criminal case involving General Mkhwanazi's wife and Bridget Pehle resumes on Monday. Can you confirm that while your appeal was postponed to March, the criminal proceedings do continue?
Please come again, ma'am.
Your criminal case involving General Mkhwanazi, his wife, and Brigadier Pehle, that resumes on Monday, correct?
I don't know when it resumes because, as I said, that I was saying here that I was acquitted in terms of Section 174, and two judges had the matter without me knowing, And I may add, ma'am, that Chairperson, that it's the first case in the history of appeals that an appeal is heard without the defendant. The matter was subsequently, the ruling, for your information, was subsequently rescinded by the senior judge in the High Court. So I don't know what we are talking about. And Chairperson, I can provide that rescission judgment.
So how do you reconcile transferring 50,000 Rand of Secret Service funds into private accounts and then appearing before the commission to speak about corruption?
Chairperson, it's very important for members to acquaint themselves with the rules of this, the PFMA especially, because they are oversight over the PFMA matters. So I would say that in crime intelligence, when somebody applies for an advance, they receive it in cash, okay? And then the person that we're talking about, the applicant that we're talking about, she applied for an advance. And instead of receiving it in cash, she said, can I please have it in a form of, transfer to my account? And I read here, maybe if I may, if I'm allowed, I can quickly go to Regulation 15.12.3, if I'm not mistaken, of the National Treasury Regulation, which says, Chairperson, that all payments above 10,000 must be made through electronic transfer. So failure to do so is a financial misconduct. So there was nothing wrong that I've done. The culture in crime intelligence, if I may say, is that monies are given on hand rather than through transfers. So the Treasury prefers transfers, you see?
No, you please stop speaking. Honorable Thorpe. Thank you so much, Honorable Kola Barnett.
Thank you, Chairperson. Good day, Mr. Mkhwanazi. Sorry, if I may ask Member James, if you could just move slightly to your left. Just to your left, you don't have to move completely. Mr. Mkhwanazi, in paragraph 45, you speak about former Minister Becky Cele. He had a secret call to Inban Kistia, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Someone as you describe as accusing and defrauding South African Police Service. And again in paragraph 556, you speak again about former Minister Becky Cele and and you mentioned that he had no moral authority to lead the organization. In your opinion, do you think that the former minister was involved or is involved in corruption or any other handed dealings?
I do not know how to answer that, Chairperson, but in my experience, the former minister was meddling a lot in procurement matters. And it must be because he had an interest in that. And indeed, Mr. Inban Kistia, a call was made to him. I don't know what was discussed. And as I said, that I'm the one who uncovered the corruption over that matter. But I do not want to come out and talk about and confirm or deny the corruption about the Minister Cele. But I do have a case actually that the IDEC is investigating against him. So yeah.
No, that's perfect. Thank you very much. And the only reason I ask is it was in the statement, about his moral character. You mentioned it's widely suspected within crime intelligence that General Sithole might have agreed to purchase those grabbers for an appointment. And just after that, you speak about General Vuma in the position of Deputy National Commissioner and Lieutenant General Tsumane as the position of Deputy National Commissioner at Detection. Were these appointments, according to you, usual, or were they also part of this agreement, in your opinion?
Those were General Sithole's allies, close allies. So what happened there is that General Vuma, for instance, before this issue of the NASREC, she was talking to Inban and them while she was still a major general, which she did not have any authority to do so because she was not even at CI. So General Mtiba, I know for a fact that he refused to do this thing because of the he did not want to involve himself in the corruption. So General Sithole was more accepting, and what happened on is it the 13th?
Sorry, so if we can just keep them quite short. I think we've got less time as well then, the Honourable.
Apology.
I would just want to move then, because you did speak now about the NASREC, and in paragraph 51 is where you start speaking about ANC's NASREC meeting. And you mentioned that there was influence to favour President Ramaphosa. And you went on to say that you were painted with a black brush by Minister Mbalula because you didn't want to release the money. You carried on to say that General Nkobo was also in bad books. That's what he was saying to you. Do you know why he was in the bad books?
Chairperson, I want to correct this a bit. I think it's a typing error. General Nkobo told me that, I was members of crime intelligence, went to the minister and painted me with a black brush, and he was also under pressures. The pressure was the procurement of the pressure was to release money for the procurement of the grabber, and there were allegations that were being made that President Ramaphosa is supported by international intelligence agencies and whatnot. So that was the background, basically.
All right. What made me pause by this statement is that when you said that Minister Mbalula painted you with a black brush for not wanting to release funds, it appears, if you have to look at that statement, that the ANC was expecting to receive money through this mechanism, and now it was you that was standing in the way of this. Are you saying, is my analysis correct? Because I'm working from your witness statement.
Yeah.
And do you think that they'd received money previously through this mechanism?
Chairperson, I would say that it's members in the ANC, not the ANC, as I understood it. They wanted money for this thing, and for fear of being harassed and victimized further, I asked that I do not answer that question whether money was used before or not.
So you're reserving a right to answer that part,
please.
So you would implicate yourself.
No. With me personally, I've never agreed to anybody taking money from the account. That is why I come here and speak freely, because I know there is nothing that somebody will come and say.
So with all respect, we want people to speak here freely. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
This committee was set up for that sole intention that people can come and give evidence. I understand why you can't speak, but also silence is also an answer. So I'll pause there. You said you didn't want to answer. I won't probe further on there. I would want to move on to paragraph 58, which also speaks to the ANC conference. In your statement, you spoke about crime intelligence buying grabbers. It's huge amounts. I think 7 at 10 million each, 70 million approximately. You were just speaking about it in those terms. What your statement does when reading it, it creates this picture that this whole meeting in section 58 or paragraph 58 was in particular to the ANC conference rather than to South Africans at large. Because the whole meeting that you speak about is how the ANC wanted you to do this and it had to do with the ANC conference. You don't mention anything about these grabbers further being utilized by anybody else, but you do highlight the benefits it should have for the ANC. You go on to speak about, just a few paragraphs further on, about a 45 million then the purchase that occurred for the iView grabber. The ANC specific discussions does not sound like standard procedure to me, and I'm sure it doesn't sound like standard procedure to any South Africans. So it begs the question of how much money is then spent yearly on ANC private conferences under the guise of, well, the president's there and we need to protect him.
Honorable member, I will say that the 10 million for each grabber was, a budget the CFO then, General Nhlanhla once did. But the 45 million was stopped before it could be paid. And I would not say the ANC, but I would say people in the ANC, because I don't want to, just like in the DA, not everybody is bad. So I would say people in the ANC wanted that. And I know because subsequent to that, there were people who supported me a lot and they are members of the ANC. So, I cannot say the brand ANC as it were. I would say people in the ANC. And I mentioned the people to say these are the people that wanted this thing to happen.
Do you have any pending criminal cases currently against you? Just yes or no is fine.
Okay. I would say it like this. I've got a section 174 acquittal, and which is being appealed. So I do not have any criminal case against me.
You mentioned when Honorable Barnard was questioning you, you did not claim innocence. I wrote it immediately down. When she was speaking to you, you said, I don't claim any innocence. I wanted to know what you meant by that. And I've said this a few times to many people that have sat here.
Yeah.
The problem is that many people that are implicated come sit here, but every single person denies everything that is said. No one accepts accountability, but at least you mentioned you didn't claim innocence.
No, maybe Honorable Chairperson, maybe the question, I may not have understood it. I am saying, Chairperson, that I am not in any way corrupt. I've never, as I said to you here, I've never taken money from the Secret Services account. And I may add that, I'm a professional accountant, a chartered accountant. SAICA would have stripped me off a long time ago because they do not want their members to be associated with corruption. So I've never taken money from anyone. I've never gotten involved in any procurement matter, whether to talk to a supplier or to request for quotation. I stay away from procurement matters. I only focused on finance. So even, maybe let me add lastly, I've never even influenced or instructed any member of this supply chain management in the secret services account to favor or choose any supplier. I don't get involved in that.
Thank you. And I must just state there's many CFOs of many public institutions that are corrupt, that have the same credentials as yourself. And I think they would sit here. And Chairperson, my last paragraph is a closing remark, and then I will be done. And in closing, so the country is burning with corruption. We've heard of rogue units in SAPS, allegations against the NPAs, allegations against crime intelligence, drug cartels. We've heard of money, 500,000 being paid over to Becky Cele, which he subsequently had sleepovers at Nhlanhla's home. There's been conversations between Minister Nhlanhla and Brian Mkhwanazi. But in explanations today, you explained yourself out of all the questions, you worked your way out of them. At some point, you were talking about air fryers. And at part of the response earlier, how you were hurt, your feelings were hurt by messages online when you were suspended. And I really would think, sir, that you would come here and confront the realities that are destroying SAPS, destroying the lives of ordinary South Africans. And I thought you may possibly come tell us who are these cartels, who in the SAPS are specifically responsible for all these wide-made allegations, and possibly tell us which ministers and politically connected people are corrupt without fearing that you yourself might end up on the end of the gun, if I could call it that, and I don't mean it literally. But you were fearful to give me answers. Unfortunately, sir, I didn't hear any of that, and neither did any of the South Africans. Thank you, Chairperson.
Honorable Chairperson, my record speaks, as I was saying to you, Honorable Member, that, corruption matters that I have uncovered in my work. I reported in terms of Section 34 of the Corruption Act. And my personal belief with regards to cartels, having the privilege of having served at crime intelligence and funding intelligence operations, I do not agree with the definition that has been put in this committee as cartels. In fact, the definition and the people that are being spoken about as a cartel, we, and I'm saying we because I was funding the operations, we're dealing with very, very serious people that were neutralized, international, that are the real cartel. These, in my view, are street criminals, and that is why you are able to find their WhatsApp messages all over the show. So we dealt with the cartels, international cartels. We neutralized them. And the record is there. Honorable Kolabanat is part of the JSCI. She might know some other things which are not public, but I do not agree with the cartel as it is defined in this particular.
Chairperson, if I may, I just want to thank you for your response, and I will gladly carry that message over to the millions of people getting killed in our streets, the millions of people that have access to drugs, that we don't have real cartels here, only international ones. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. We have come to the end. Thank you so much, Mr. Hlongwane, SC. for leading the presentation of evidence, and members for the work that has been done today, the support staff of political party caucuses, staff of parliament, and members of the media who are unstinting in their presence. We have come to the end of today's proceedings. And we have everybody here tomorrow, exactly 11 o'clock. Thank you so much. You may stand up and leave the chambers.